What's up guys, and welcome back to another video all about pain and suffering in the name of film photography. Today guys, I'm going to take you through some street photography with the Minolta SRT 101. Now I'm not going to go through all the specs, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this camera. It first launched in 1966, which makes it 34 years before I was born, so you can work out how old I am. I'm unfortunately very old. It is clearly a thing of absolute beauty. It is heavy as hell, sexy as hell, and it sounds so good. Now this does have a light meter, a through the lens light meter, but it is fully mechanical if you want it to be. It is a pure beast, and it will probably go forever because it is chunky. Usual stuff in terms of shutter speed, it goes from 1000 all the way down to a second, and then has bulb mode, which I haven't used. It's not really my thing, but it has it. ISO goes all the way from 6 to 6400, although you will probably not find a film that goes that fast. There's no auto mode, so no shutter or aperture priority, which to be honest with you is fine. Basically what I thought I'd do is take my limited film photography knowledge and general photography skill to Brighton to see what I could get. I split it into 2 days. The first day I went down with John, who was featured in the lovely little time lapse I just did. So let's go, see what I get. Let me tell you, day one didn't go that well, to be honest with you. I used Portra 400, which I quite like because I'm a bit of a basic bitch, and I underexposed it. Now, let me explain to you why I underexposed most of the roll. It was super sunny, and I was shooting often being in the sun into the shade, and with a through the lens light meter it wasn't measuring it particularly accurately. It actually says I was overexposing the shots, even though clearly I wasn't. Now I've been a bit lazy, to be honest with you, because I haven't actually used the light meter before. I've always been reliant on whatever the camera has, so this is the first time I've felt that I've suffered with it, so I went straight away and downloaded an app. This app is called My Light Meter, and I went for the pro version because it was £4, and that served me very well on day 2. But before we get to day 2, we've got to deal with day 1, so let's take a look at some of these shots. So I'm just going to go through these photos and kind of talk you through them. This was actually probably the one that was exposed the best. Most of the photos look muddy. This one's okay. I'm not going to rate it, but it's okay. I like the textures. I like this photo because of the Malinoga's colours, but I mean, it's underexposed, it's muddy, it's not great. Just randomly selecting these images, by the way. This one's actually not too bad. The exposure is actually okay. Yeah, I quite like the colours in it. I mean, Portra 400 gives out nice colours. Again, I actually like this one. It's not too bad. I like the framing. I like the fact he's got a cigarette in his mouth. I like the fact he's wearing a hat. I'm a sucker for those things. I did have to work quite hard to make this one usable. It's muddy. It's underexposed. This one's okay. I like, again, the Malinoga's colours, and just generally the colours out of the film is nice. His positioning on the ladder could be better. It's one thing. This one's quite cool. Like, I like the colours again, the reds and the yellows. Composition's okay. This one would be cool if it wasn't underexposed, so it's trash. And then I like this one. Exposure's not too bad. The shadows are a little bit muddy, but I'm quite happy, to be honest with that. Probably my favourite one of the roll. This one I don't hate. It's quite cool that John's in it, and it was candid, so I was quite happy with that. The reflection's quite cool. and this is John and I in the mirror, and that's just there because, well, it's just a bit of fun, isn't it? So of these, I would keep 23. I'll probably post 7 on the old gram, and I'd print absolutely 0 because they're crap. Day 2, guys, and we're back to Brighton. We have loaded up on caffeine. We've loaded up the back of the camera with Tri-X 400, which I've shot before, and actually I really liked it. A little bit more contrasty than HP5 if the rumours are true. I haven't actually shot HP5 yet, so I cannot confirm or deny from my point of view. Day 2, I shot 2 rolls of film, Tri-X 400 and Fujifilm 400. So what I'll do is I'm going to pick out 5 from the black and white roll and then 5 from the colour roll, tell you what I like about them, go through which ones I'd keep, which ones would I post, and which ones I would print. These ones were much better. I was quite happy actually with them overall, and the exposure generally was much improved. I used a combination of the app and I used a combination of the camera through the lens light meter, so I think they work quite well together and the results were a lot better. So let's hop in and discuss. This roll, as I said, was much more successful than the first one. Obviously exposing it correctly is a good starting point. However, a lesson to learn from me being an absolute moron is don't open the back of the camera before you've wound the film in, because I must have wrecked 4 or 5 really good photos by completely overexposing them. So that was a massive amateur error. Anyway, onto this first image. I like it a lot. I like the fact that she is low in the mirror and it's low in the actual picture frame. I was quite happy with the timing and the focus, considering it was all manually shot. Yeah, happy with that one. When I first took this, I knew I'd like it, and then I got it out of camera. I was buzzing because focus was good, exposure was good, it looked wicked, but I'm a little bit like, now I've looked at it a few times, it's okay, it's not amazing. This, however, I'm really happy with. I love the fact that it's 3 dudes just on their break from work. I liked it. I like this photo. It's actually probably my favourite from the roll. And this is another cool photo. I love the reflection. This is from a place called Snooper's Paradise, so if you're ever in Brighton doing some film photography, it's a wicked place to check it out. It's full of very interesting things, interesting people, and yeah, it's quite happy with this in the mirror. Focus again was on point, which I was happy with. And this is probably my second favourite from the roll. I really enjoy the simplicity of it. Love the textures, love the light and shadow, and yeah, really happy with that one. So overall, I would keep 27, which isn't bad going considering I opened up the back of the camera without rolling the film in first. I'll probably post 15 of these on Instagram, maybe a bit less, but I was quite happy with those 15 especially, and I'd probably print these 2. I'd be interested to see how they would come out blown up big and on the wall. Before we jump into roll number 2 on day number 2, Fuji 400, I just wanted to say a quick word on it. I've heard from multiple people that it's the same as Kodak Ultramax. I can't say that I have any experience with Kodak Ultramax, so I can't compare. However, it was a little bit saturated for me out of camera. I took it into Lightroom, made my small tweaks, very small tweaks. I've just reduced the saturation and the vibrance very slightly. So yeah, let me go through these images and you can let me know what you think in the comments. As I said, I wasn't really holding too many high expectations for this roll of film, Fuji 400, but after desaturating it a little bit, I like it. I'm definitely going to shoot it again. Starting off with this photo as my first photo, it's probably my favourite from the roll. I like the fact she's writing, I love the colours, I love the reflections. For me, that's probably my favourite. I like this one, nicely framed. Again, I like the colours. It's a guy painting. It just looks cool, doesn't it? This one, is so close to being brilliant. Again, I like the greens, I like the colours. It's a tiny bit out of focus. A tiny bit, which is a shame, but I still like it a lot. I also like this. I like the shadow. I like the light. I like the fact he's reading a book. I like the weight of this photo and the composition. I think it's quite nice. This is also quite cool. I like the colours. I like the eyes looking. I like the seeds. Yeah, quite cool. I also like this photo. This dude and we stared at each other for about 30 seconds whilst I was getting this photo ready. He knew I was taking of him, or I was going to be taking of him. I knew I was going to take this photo of him, and he stared at me, and I love it. Proper street interaction. Gave him a little nod at the end, and off I went. And I like this photo as well. It's just myself. Nice little street selfie. And by the way, I like the colours. The reds are cool. So overall, I would keep 30, which is quite good considering I bashed this roll out in about 35-40 minutes, and I'm not even joking. I was marching to try and get another roll done for this video. So I was quite happy with it, to be honest with you. I would post 14 of them, and I don't know if you print these, but these were my 3 favourites that stood out for me. I like the colours. I actually like how they work as a 3 as well. All very different. You've got a detail shot there, got a wider shot of a woman, and then you've got a no subject, nice light. So yeah, overall, I was really happy with how this roll came out, considering it's the first time I shot Fujifilm 400, and still getting used to the camera, and to be honest with you, still getting used to film photography. And doing street photography on film is tough, let me tell you, but I bloody love it. And that just about wraps it up. Let me know what you preferred of the rolls of film, the Tri-X, the Fuji 400, or the very underexposed Portra 400. I would say, actually, I think the images that I personally preferred were definitely the Tri-X or the Fuji 400. It did help that I exposed them correctly. But the point of this video is the Minolta SRT 101, and I loved it. I actually bought this camera because Greg Fraser from June, he had it, and if it's good enough for Greg, it's good enough for me. I have to say, I love this camera. I really love it. If you're looking for an SLR, an old school SLR you can go fully manual with, then this is definitely a good option. They're not that expensive. I think I picked this up for 125 quid. So if you're looking at it in dollars, it's like 175-ish, maybe a bit more. It's not crazy money. This thing probably will last longer than me. It is a beast, as we've discussed. Sounds unbelievably good. It's got everything you would need in an SLR. Yes, okay, it's heavy and it's big, but I personally quite like that about it. Yeah, give it a go if you've got one to pick up. I think that just about sums it up, guys. If you did enjoy this video, drop it a like. Make sure you're subscribed for more street photography videos. There'll be film and digital in there. See you in the next one. Peace.